In today's video, I have destroyed Bayern Munich. I've not only relegated them to the third tier of German football, I've not only released every single one of Bayern Munich's best players, I've also taken almost all of Bayern Munich's money away from them, and with Tuchel not doing well at the club anyway, he's decided to leave. But don't worry Bayern fans, I've got you covered, because in today's video, I am becoming the new manager of Bayern Munich. And not only am I going to try my best to get them back into the Bundesliga, I'm going to once again crown them the world's best club. So here is the starting 11 I've loaded into with an absolutely destroyed Bayern Munich team. And as you guys can see, it is definitely in ruins. No Harry Kane or Jamal Musiala inside. Our highest rated player is Jamie Lawrence, who's 66 rated, for goodness sake. We've got a long way to go before we return Bayern Munich back to their glory days. But that's got me curious. Where have some of Bayern Munich's top stars actually gone to now that they're a free agent? Well, Jamal Musiala has actually gone to Barcelona. Man, that's a great signing for Barca. And Harry Kane's actually gone to Dortmund. Oh my god, it looks like a year's worth of playing for Bayern Munich doesn't exactly give you loyalty to them after all. But this one's just bizarre. Manuel Neuer has joined Everton on a free. I mean, Manuel Neuer at Everton, I can't really picture that ever happening in real life. And unfortunately, we're nowhere near ready to bring them back to the club yet. We've only got 3 million in our budget, but once again, there are a couple of rules to follow. When we get to Bundesliga 2, we're allowed to spend 7 million euros a season. When we finally get to the Bundesliga, it's 15 million euros a season. But when we once again finally qualify for European football, we've no longer got any restrictions on our budget. And one more rule for Bayern, I'm only allowed to sign players from the Bundesliga, the Bundesliga 2 and Bundesliga 3, considering how much Bayern Munich in real life love raiding other German teams. But before we start improving the team in the transfer window, I'm tactically going to put my spin on Bayern Munich. I'm going to rock the gegenpress and tactical vision, quite frankly, because it's my favourite and I think it'll get the best out of these bunch of lads. And we are going to keep with this formation because, quite frankly, I have looked at every other formation that is available and this is literally the only one that fits the team right now. And I'm also investing a bulk of our budget on Felix Koch, a 4-star experience, 4-star judgment scout. And I'm sending him to Germany for 9 months to just see what he can find. Hopefully by the end of this season we've got some pure homegrown talent. But this doesn't leave us with much money at all. 586,000 euros to be exact, but luckily for us there's only one position I actually want to buy for, and that is the striker position, because quite frankly we've got no strikers in the team, so it's basically common knowledge to put all of our money into this position now. And guys, somehow I've managed to find somebody within our budget. Alessio Bessio is from Freiburg 2, he's 1958 overall, he's nothing spectacular right now, but with him being this young he may turn into a little bit of a monster. And just like that, for 480,000 we have got our striker in Alessio Bessio. And after that signing, our scout came back with the first batch of players, and I'm not gonna lie to you, none of these are looking all that impressive to me, so hopefully this isn't a sign of things to come. But that does mean this is the Bayern Munich team going into season 1, and I'm not gonna lie guys, I really do feel like we're gonna get our backsides handed to us this year. I mean, we've already played 2 games and got our backsides handed to us on both occasions. Like I've just said guys, this season is gonna be very difficult. But regardless of how the season's gone, look at the development of some of our players, man. It's been absolutely ridiculous, and this is set us up quite nicely for next year too. But looking at the stats, I don't think we've done that bad at all. I mean, Bessio's got 14 goals and 2 assists in 38 games, so maybe we haven't had the arse kicking I thought we were gonna get. And guys, I was completely mistaken. We are top 10 in Bundesliga 3, and honestly, I will definitely take this. I thought for sure we were gonna get our backsides handed to us. But the icing on the cake, guys, Dortmund 2 actually ended up finishing rock bottom themselves, so we've done pretty damn well. As for our academy players, I had to promote them just in case they were getting unhappy, but I found Marco Werner, I found Marcus Horn, and I found Christopher Lang. All very good players, but the last player I found is by a mile the best one out of the bunch. I found centre-back Matty Kruger. He's 18, he's 66 overall after that bloody loan glitch has happened to him for whatever reason, but you know what? I'm not complaining, he can go straight into the team next year. I mean, when you look at the team, you'll definitely fit into it quite nicely too. But I feel like if we are to take that next step from going from the Bundesliga 3 to the Bundesliga 2, we need to put all of our money into getting a brand new goalkeeper than this guy. I mean, he's 63 overall. He's the weakest link in the team. Once we sort him out, I reckon we do stand a decent chance. But before we get to season 2, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you leave it a big old thumbs up and smash that subscribe button. We're officially on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Now guys, I've searched loads in the German leagues for a keeper, and I found 22-year-old Felix Gebhardt. He's 69 overall, he's 6'2". He looks pretty damn decent, you know. And the fact that he's worth less than 2.5 million when we can only spend 3 million is absolutely bang on the money. And there we go, guys. Just like that, for 2.1 million euros, our goalkeeper problem is officially sorted. And with this signing, you'll have noticed the team looks just a little bit different. I've opted for the 5-4-1 formation, and there's a big reason for this. As you can see, we've got 3 fullbacks in the team, all high-rated players and all very young still, and I cannot believe I overlooked this last year. So as we speak, David Harold is being converted to a right wing-back, and also Franz Gracic is going to be converted to a left wing-back just to make sure that they fit this formation. Because with our improved goalkeeper, our centre-back youth prospect in the team, and a better defence overall with, to be fair, a better formation, I don't see any reason why this team can't get promotion this year. And guess what, guys? I was bang on the money. We are champions of the Bundesliga 3, and we are promoted to the Bundesliga 2. Step 1 is officially complete. And this time in the DFB Pokal, we made it to round 2 before Schalke knocked us out. And in case you're wondering why I didn't show you last year's DFB Pokal, it's quite simple. We weren't actually in it, so I couldn't actually show you. But what I can show you is how good this team looks, and I reckon back-to-back promotions is on the cards, especially with our budget being increased from 3 million euros to 7 million. And just look at this stats: 18-7 for Alessio Besio, 17-6 for Kabadai, 15-3 for Ibrahimovic. I mean, we may have just found the German version of him. And a special shout out to Paul Wanner too, 13 assists in 40 games. He's not even 20 years old yet. This guy's got a special future. But guys, whilst everything is incredible for Season 2, I've got an issue for Season 3. Where the hell am I going to spend money on this team next year? Everywhere is actually fantastic. I mean, we could bring in better centre-backs than Deng and Morrison to partner up with Lawrence and Kruger at the back, but apart from that, I don't really want to mess around with anything in this team. I mean, we just won the Bundesliga 3 title, for goodness sake, and what's that old saying? If it isn't broke, don't fix it. So guys, it's a new season and it's a new league. We are now in the Bundesliga 2, but here's hoping we're not in this league for long. And what's also official, our budget's gone from 3 million euros to 7 million euros, and finding ourselves a better centre-back has just become 10 times easier with this additional money. But I did get kind of curious to see how old Bayern Munich players are getting on, and Leroy Sané is doing pretty well. He's gone to Liverpool, for goodness sake, so he's gone from Man City to Bayern Munich to Liverpool. This guy's having a pretty damn good time, isn't he? But Serge Gnabry, not so much. He's landing himself at Monaco now. I mean, it's a decent move, don't get me wrong, but in comparison to Leroy Sané, he's definitely taken a bit of a hit. But getting back to business, I said I wanted a centre-back, and I've found one. Borussia Mönchengladbach's Fabio Chiarodi. He's only 20 years old, he's 70 rated, and he's worth between 4.1 and 3.3 million, so we're going to have no issue signing this guy up. But Mönchengladbach weren't letting him go easy at all. 4 million euros is what we've had to spend to sign him on a 5-year contract. But looking at the defence now, I'd say that's 4 million very well spent. He's young, he's got a lot of potential. Let this guy cook. But we do still have 3 million euros to spend, and whilst we're not in the Bundesliga yet, I reckon that still gives us enough time to develop our youth academy. Unfortunately, we can't afford the best scouts in Alessandro Huber or Anton Wagner, so Emil Hoffman is going to have to do for now. But I am going to send Hoffman to Germany for 9 months to try and find us technically gifted players. And I've sent Felix Koch to Poland to try and find us specifically a striker. Let's see if we can't find the next Lewandowski. I mean, to be fair, guys, there's no saying these scouts are going to find us any balls to begin with, is there? But it's always worth trying. Especially with how good some of these players may end up becoming as well. Some of them may get a bit of an ego on them and think they're too good to play for us, and if that is the case, we've definitely got to be prepared. But regardless of all that, this is our first season in the second tier of German football, but I'm hoping it's our one and only season. I reckon we are way too good for this league right now. And once again, I was bang on the money. Back-to-back promotions as back-to-back champions. Get in. And we also made the quarters of the DFB Pokal, only just losing to Dortmund. Let me tell you something, we're not far behind Dortmund. And just by looking at the team, I know I'm right. If we can keep these guys as happy as they are now, keep their contracts good, we'll be at the top of the Bundesliga and on top of Europe in no time. But in case I can't, we have got a couple of safeguards. Milos Malinowski, we've got Stefan Becker, and also Linus Sommer. All pretty decent plays, but next year they're getting sent straight out on loan. And as for the stats, it's easy to see why we've done so well. Alessio Besio and Ibrahimovic banging goals in left, right, and centre. They're definitely the reason why we we've been promoted as champions. But next year, it's no joke. We're going to be against Dortmund, Leverkusen, RB Leipzig, Borussia Mönchengladbach, the top teams of German football. My biggest question is, how the hell are my boys going to take this challenge? I mean, just by looking at the team, I feel like they're ready for the challenge. But remember, our budget's just increased to 15 million a season now, so that's definitely going to help us not only survive the Bundesliga, but thrive in it. But speaking of the Bundesliga, it's a new season and a new league. We are officially in the top flight of German football. It's only taken us 3 seasons to do this as well. But as you can see, we've only got 3 million in our budget, and that's not because we've been short-handed. That's because I've already spent this money. I've taken the liberty of renewing all of our best and highest rated players' contracts to make sure that they're getting paid what they're happy with, just to make sure that they stay at the club. The only problem is 2 players wanted a release clause in their contract. Yusuf Kabadai was one of them, with their release clause being 172.9 million. And the other player was Franz Katzig, who's got a release clause of 72.2 million. And I bet you're thinking, what's the issue with that? Because if both of their release clauses get activated, that means we are absolutely rich. Well, not exactly. Whilst we are in the Bundesliga, we've still got restrictions on our budget. So if their release clauses get activated this season, the most we'll get out of that is 15 million euros. So yes, guys, I'm well aware I've taken a huge gamble using all of our budget pretty much just to make sure that our players are happy with their current contracts. I'm just hoping that this team's good enough to get top 6 football, man. It's very likely that it's not going to be the case, but you never know, guys. It's football. Anything can happen. But guys, unfortunately, it wasn't our year. We are not in European football next year. We are once again going to be restricted to 15 million euros. But the good news is we are a newly promoted team and we finished inside the top 10 in the Bundesliga. That is incredible when you think about it. But this time we tanked in the DFB Pokal. Borussia Mönchengladbach knocked us out in round 2. And by the looks of our transfer history this season, it looks like we got away with it, but Jamie Lawrence apparently had a release clause. But you know what? We're not exactly going to miss him, are we? Now, I'll be real with you lot. I reckon next year, if all goes well in our favour, there is literally nothing stopping us from getting into the top 6 in the Bundesliga, man. Look at the state of this team now. We just need to focus on our right side of the defence and our goalkeeper. The rest of the team is actually golden. Now, I know this is going to be tricky, only having 15 million to spend next year and only bringing in players from German leagues itself, but you know what? We're going to have to do our best with what we've got. But when you look at the stats overall, you wouldn't believe we've done as well as we have. We've had a right season off stats-wise. But you know what? If those stats get us a top 10 finish for our first season in the Bundesliga, I really can't complain. We've just got to hope that Kabadai and Kratzig get left alone next year in the transfer window, because if either of these release clauses get activated, we're still only going to have 15 million in our budget and we're going to lose 2 of our best players. But on a brighter note, guys, for the new season, I said I wanted to improve our defence, and with Arthur, I feel like we're going to. He's 24, he's 79 rated. The only issue is he's worth between 22.3 and 17.8 million. Now, obviously, our budget is only 15 million euros, but I reckon if we add a player to this deal, we could definitely make this work. So with that being said, I'm offering 10 mil alongside our current right wing back, David Herold. I'm just praying to God that they actually go for this. Come on, Leverkusen, don't let our rivalry disguise a good deal. 10% silent clause. We've actually managed to get him. Oh my God, I cannot believe Leverkusen actually went for this deal. And there we go, guys. With the addition of Arthur, this team is looking pretty damn decent as well. Hang on, where the hell's... Oh my God, no, it's happened. Someone's activated Kabadai's release clause. He's nowhere to be seen in the squad or, but guys, it actually happened. This is why I don't put release clauses on any of my players usually. It always comes back to haunt you. And this is just the icing on the cake. He's gone to bloody Borussia Dortmund. I am actually done, man. So this is what it feels like having your best players taken away from you from bigger clubs. And Dortmund may have given us 170 odd million, but we've only got 15 million to spend. Absolutely fantastic. But the thing is, guys, in previous seasons, we have tried our best to prepare for this. Christopher Lang as a right winger is 21, he's 78 overall, and he's showing great potential. I mean, yes, he's nowhere near as good as Kabadai right now, but for 15 million, are we going to get anybody as good as Lang? Realistically, we're not, are we? But what we can use that 15 million on is a better centre-back than Buchmann. I mean, he's 73 overall and the weakest link in the entire team now, so that 15 million is going into a better centre-back. And luckily, guys, I have found someone better than Buchmann within our budget. Dean Huijsen from Mainz. He's 22, he's 75 overall. He will cost us every penny we've got, but he's absolutely going to be worth it. And that is officially our transfer window done, as we spent 12 million euros to bring Dean Huijsen to Bayern Munich. The big question is though, guys, is Lang good enough to fill in Kabadai's shoes, man? Kabadai is a world-class player, and I'm not sure if Lang is up to the task just yet. But guys, I could be wrong. He's gone from 78 overall to 84 rated. He's only 22, for goodness sake. He could actually be better than Kabadai in a couple of years if he keeps growing like this. And Lang ain't the only one who's improved loads this year. Varner, Ibrahimovic, Pavlovic, Besio, Kruger, every single one of these guys has put a right shift in. And not only has Lang massively improved, he's our top goal scorer as well, with 16 goals and 3 assists in 35 games. Guys, I feel like we found Kabadai's replacement without even spending a penny. But the important question is, guys, with all of this growth, with all of this improvement, have we finally got Bayern Munich back into Europe? We've finally done it. Bayern Munich, the German giants themselves, are back in the Champions League. It's taken us a long time to do it, but we've bloody done it. I mean, the next step is to take that title away from Dortmund and knock them off their pedestal they're on right now. But you know what? Let's take the small wins when we get them. But we've got to take the L's when they come too, because we got knocked out in round 2 at the DFB Pokal by a team that I'm not going to lie, I've never even heard of. But now that we finally qualify for European football next year, we've got no more restrictions on our budget. So whatever the board give us next year, we've got absolutely nothing stopping us from spending it. And guys, depending on how much is in our budget next year, we could run rampant next season. We could win the Bundasliga title, the DFB Pokal, and the Champions League all in one season if we get enough. And ladies and gents, the board have not disappointed. 112 million euros for our first season with no restrictions. Now looking at the team overall, I feel like our centre-back and our goalkeeper are the two weak links in the team. The rest of the starting 11 is actually golden. But as you can see from our centre-back's development plan, it'll take him 6 weeks to become an 80 rated player, and he's still only 23 years old. He might even surpass that. So I think we spend all of this money pretty much on a world-class goalkeeper. Now remember, we can only buy players from German leagues. So I feel like it's about time we get a bit of payback on Dortmund. I'm taking Gregor Kobel away from them. He's 30 years old, he's 90 overall, and he's worth less than 80 million euros. So we may even have money left over for another signing after we sign this guy. But Dortmund weren't letting him go that easily in the slightest. We've just had to spend 102.5 million euros to bring Kobel over to Bayern Munich. And it's safe to say with 2 million, we're not going to bring any other player into the team. That's our transfer window done. But the remaining budget went on making our coaching system overpowered as hell. So you better believe I'm expecting big things from all of our players this year. And speaking of big things, we are once again in the Champions League with Bayern. We are alongside Real Madrid, Juve, and Shakhtar Donetsk in what is probably the toughest group stage I have ever seen in FC24. It is going to be a massive ask for us to get out of that group, but you know what? Even if we finish third, we'll still be in the Europa League. But I'm more concerned about the Bundesliga. We've gone 2 games into the season and we haven't won a single one yet. And remember, guys, if we don't finish in a European spot this year, we go from having no restrictions on our budget to having 50 million a season again. And we've come so far with this team for that to happen, so we've got to do better. And we did, in fact, do much better. We have won the Bundesliga for the first time in years with Bayern Munich getting. And to be fair, guys, it was in dominant fashion. 70 goals scored, 26 conceded, 44 goal difference and 2 points clear. We literally were the best team in Germany by a country mile. And we did make the DFB Pokal final, losing to SV Darmstadt. I'm sorry, who the hell are they, man? How are we losing to them? As for the Champions League, we survived the group of death by actually topping the group by 3 points. Madrid go to the Europa League whilst ourselves and Juve go through to the knockouts. But we lose to Monaco in the round of 16. Like, how do we get out of a group with Juve, Shakhtar and Real Madrid and it only to lose to Monaco? That just doesn't make sense. And just looking at the team, guys, I maintain what I said. It doesn't make sense. How the hell does this team not get past Monaco, for goodness sake? Especially with the stats this year being the best they've ever been. 39 goal contributions in 46 games for Alessio Besio. He was like 58 rated when we first bought him. Now look at him. What a baller. But with us winning the Bundesliga, that obviously means we've once again got European football, which once again means we've got no restrictions on our budget. And let me tell you something, when I'm done with this team in the next transfer window, it's going to be ready to win everything in dominant fashion. The Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal, and of course the Champions League. So I'm going to start the new season with 2 massive signings. The first one is Nico Schlotterbeck from RB Leipzig. He's 6'3", 29 years old and 86 overall. overall. And following him is Benoit Badiashile from Frankfurt. He's 6'4" himself, 28, 85 overall. Once we've signed these two players, we're going to have the best defense in the Bundesliga. And for the total sum of 127.5 million euros, we've signed both of these players on 3-year contracts. And that does leave us with 42 million left in our budget, and I feel like there's one more signing we've just got to make. Now, all things considered, our bench does look pretty good. I think we need to replace Von Erek as our second choice cam. He's only 76 overall, and I feel like I know exactly who to bring in. Dortmund fans, look away. I'm bringing Julian Brandt to Bayern Munich. Granted, he's 33 years old, but he's 85 overall, and I feel like for at least one season, we'll get very good things from him. And because his contract was running out, we've only had to spend 28 million euros to bring him to Bayern, and that officially concludes our business for this season. But now moving on to bigger business, we're in Group H of the Champions League alongside Athletic Bilbao, RB Salzburg and Braga, and it's safe to say in comparison to last year, this should be a cakewalk. Especially with the signings we've made this year, man. Do not be surprised if this season we win the treble. And ladies and gents, we're already one trophy there. We have once again won the Bundesliga. Not quite in the dominating way that I'd like to have done, but you know what? A Bundesliga title is a Bundesliga title. We're in the German Super Cup. We lose to Darmstadt again. Why can't we beat this team, man? I don't even know who they are. But we finally won the DFB Pokal, beating Leverkusen of all teams to do it. I'm telling you now, guys, they must absolutely hate my guts at this point. But moving on to the big one, we topped Group H once again in comfortable fashion. Salzburg join us in the knockouts, and Athletic Bilbao crash out to the Europa League. But in the round of 16, we destroyed Stade Rennais, and we destroyed Barca in the quarters 4-1. On aggregate, we could be playing Man City, Atletico, Inter Milan. Oh, please be Atletico. It wasn't Atletico. We got drawn against the toughest opponent and still wiped the floor with them. We're playing actually Atletico in the final. And you know, I don't think I've played Atletico in the Champions League final for quite some time, so this is going to be quite interesting, especially with the formation we're running. But God help him if our front three are on form. Lang with 27 goal contributions, 29 for Besio and 37 for Ibrahimovic. We've definitely found the German version of Zlatan, haven't we? And ladies and gents, here is the Bayern Munich team starting 11 going into their first Champions League final, if I'm not mistaken, in 4 years since they beat PSG in the final. And what I love about this team, we've got some OG Bayern players in this team. We've got some outside players into this team like Besio, and more importantly, we've got some youth academy prospects like Kruger and Lang in this team. We've got a mixture of everything. But the question is this Bayern Munich team strong enough to overcome Atletico Madrid to win their first Champions League in 4 years? Here comes Arthur to start the game off. We've got Lang on the ball. Kabadai's replacement, who turned out to be insane. He's found Pavlovic, our CDM. Let's take a shot from distance. Ooh! Post! Oh my god, Pavlovic, I did not expect you to have that in you. Here come Atletico. Szoboszlai is on the ball. Pavlovic is in chase. Look at that. Pavlovic is turning out to be the best player in the team so far, man. He's so good. But here we come. Besio has received it. Can we find? Oh, that's beautiful. Paul Wanner. A little further touch. Oh, that's just amazing. That is genuinely... beautiful. Paul Wanner, an OG from Season 1. His ego didn't get too big. He didn't want to leave. He stayed loyal to the project, and he has delivered in the Champions League. But here comes Szoboszlai once again. He's found Sanchez. Oh, that's beautiful defending from Schlotterbeck. I'm telling you now, guys, we've definitely got the best defense in the world right now. And here comes Zlatan Ibrahimovic's regen incarnated. What the... Okay, maybe it's not Zlatan's regen, because I definitely don't think Zlatan would have done that. Oh no, we're in the second half. What a save from Kobel. Atletico testing us at long last. Here come Atletico once again. Sanchez is on the ball. What a tackle, man. Schlotterbeck is just too good. Ibra's on the ball now, though. He's trying to find Besio. I feel like he's far... just offside, man. Oh, that's so close. He's literally a kneecap offside as well. Besio, why did you have to be too tall? We've got Ibra on the ball now. Okay, oh, he's so goddamn quick as well. Ibra's coming forward. We've got options in the box. We've gone back post. Can we get there? Oh, what a save, Cornacecchi. Here come Atletico Madrid. Schlotterbeck is there. Sanchez is there as well. Can we get a tackle in? We can, but it's gone straight back to them. Tchouameni's on the ball. Malini, Robbie. It's going all over the shop except from where I want it to go. Can we get the ball out? It's gone for a corner. Thank God for that. So Bosley to take 15 minutes remain. Keep it, can he get that good stuff? We're making a couple of changes. Malinowski and Becker coming on for Besio and Ibra, and I'm feeling like Chiriode is coming on for Badiashile, man, just to make sure we get the win. I really hope that now that I've made these subs, it isn't going to come around and bite me in the backside, man. I've just taken off quality and replaced it with not much quality, admittedly. But Molina's on the ball. Kratziger's with him. Kratzig, such a good fullback, man. What a play. The 90 minutes is up. We've got extra time now. Can we clinch the Champions League trophy? We've got Lang coming in short. Come on. Cut inside. That's beautiful. Oh, we can't get the shot off. I don't think it'll matter. Atletico Madrid. That is the full-time whistle. Bayern Munich have defeated Atletico 1-0 in the final of the Champions League. Not only have we made Bayern the best team in Germany, we have made them the best team in the world. In Season 1, we destroyed Bayern. We relegated them to the third tier of German football, stripped them of all their best players and their budget, and we've risen them from the ashes and made them even better than they once were. And that means our job with Bayern is officially done. But if you enjoyed me doing this with Bayern, you should click right here to watch me do this with Barcelona.